Alright guys, welcome back. So in the last video we created our logo, and then we took the logo and we put it in our symbols panel. One thing that I forgot to do was to take the entire logo itself um, and put it into our symbols panel. Now the thing is, um, the logo itself is going to be this case and just the word I case. Everything else are elements of the logo, like the slogan, this bar, and these little accents are really going to be accents to the logo. Now I might make the I case and this the logo. We'll see how it looks, but just for now, let's go ahead and grab this and we can drag it in the symbols panel, and I can just call it I case logo. Alright, so I forgot to do that in the last video as well. And then another thing I like to do is however I want it set up, I would do that too. Alright, so the other thing that we talked about in class is we want to make sure that we are staying organized. And as you guys know, I have not organized any of the layers in this video. So let's go ahead and take some time now and organize our stuff. Now, here's the thing. We're working backward because I already made these a symbol. And now if I go into setting it up, notice I can't really click on everything. But just so that you know, if you need to edit your symbol, if you go into your symbols panel, and let's say we have this first one, if you double click in it, it's going to open, it's going to take you, remember this isolation mode? It's going to take you into symbol isolation mode. And now you'll have access to set up everything in here. So if we go to our layers panel, like we should have in the first place, but we did not. If we go into our layers panel, now we'll be able to see everything that's apart. So we have these layers. So remember, we're stepped inside of the symbol because we got here from the symbols panel. Okay. So now if I click on the phone and I scroll down to look at the layers, I'll see all the components right here. Here's the phone layer. So I'm going to bring this out a little bit so that we can see it. So we have the case right here. Okay. And that's because we named it before, right? But notice I see the case, I see the I case logo, I see the accent bar, I see the text that makes up that slogan, and I see the little bars that make that up. So now this one's pretty much set up and saved for us. If I can actually go into, let me go to, I can click in here and I can actually go into the isolation mode of the phone by double clicking. It just takes us another step deeper, and then I can name this one if I want phone case. Okay, so I do have options. I'll hit escape out of that and go back a layer, and again I can double click and it's going to tell me that, hey, I'm about to edit the symbol definition. Any edits will be applied to all the instances of this. I'm like, okay, cool, I want that. So I can go here, and inside of here I could name, type logo if I need to, or I could break it down further. Same here with the bar and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go out because I'm good with how it is. I'm going to go back into my symbols panel, and I just wanted you to know that that's there. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out of all of this, and I'm going to go into my regular layers, and I'm going to, with the layer selected, if I needed to make a change to this area, because I want these changes to happen on my regular layers panel, what I can do just for now, I'm going to break this symbol. So I'm going to click with the symbols panel open and the layer selected. I'm going to click on the break link. So now I've broken the link to the symbol panel, and now I can go into my layers and I'll see each thing individually. So if I click here and I go down here and I go into the layers, all I see are groups. Then that's because I neglected to name my stuff. So I'm now cleaning up backward, which is never a good way to work. You should name it as you go. So where I have this first group, this is my actual phone case. So I'm going to click and I'm going to change the name of this to phone case. Okay, now I have the word case, so I'm going to call that word or I case text. or title. The next group is the slogan. So I'm going to say IK slogan. So whichever way you name it that makes sense to you, go for it. But I am looking to make sure that you are organized. So make sure you organize yourself. So I'm going to say bar logo. And then here, this is the accent. So I'm going to say accent logo. And then this entire group here are everything that make up the logo. So I'm going to say logo. I had a word. Words are hard. I'm just going to say logo internal. I don't know what that means. This is not thinking of a word. I'll change it. And then here, I'm just going to say logo group. And this layer, remember those are all sub layers. I'm just going to call it logo. Or I could say iCase logo, or whatever works. Not UI though. All right. So iCase logo. So now I feel better because my, and actually, you know what? Silly rabbit. This is actually my, instead of saying iCase logo, I might actually say iCase logo here. And you'll see why in a second. This actual logo layer, these are the sub layers, but this actual logo layer is my, well, you know what? It is the logo. So I'm just going to say logo. There you go. iCase logo. Boom. Too easy. Okay. So, not what I meant to do. Okay. So, now that I have my logo layer set, it is ready. I'm going to lock it. And the reason I'm locking it is because I don't want anything else getting in the way. So, the next thing I want to do is here where it says asset export. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but artboards. I'm going to click on artboards because remember, we want to keep our artboards organized as well. So where I have artboards, I'm going to double click on artboard. And I'm going to name this one logo, right? Because this is the logo artboard. And that's all that's on this board. So I named it logo. I have layers. Boom. I'm going to move asset export over just because these are the main two boards that we're going to mess with. All right. So we have our logo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this a little bit. I'm going to push this over because I have the next artboard coming in. And the next artboard that we're going to create is our business card. And remember, the business card can be landscape, it can be portrait, or it can be both. Remember in class I created one portrait and one landscape. I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to do a portrait, no, landscape, business card, back, and I'm sorry, front, and maybe a portrait back. I don't know. Have no idea. But in any event, we're going to see. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab the artboard tool. And the shortcut for this is Shift-O. But if you're looking in your tools panel, it's right here. If you have a different tools panel set up, just look for the square that, you know, has like the cut lines on the outside of it. So the square with the line at the top and the line on the left. All right, or page markers, whichever one. So I'm going to click on the artboard tool. When I click on it, you're going to instantly notice that my artboard gets a bounding box because it thinks I want to make changes to this, but I don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to align it. I'm going to use my guides that came with it. And really, I'm just going to, I mean, I could mess around and use the automatic information that's here, but I'm not. I'm just going to draw any type of square for now, and then I'm going to go, sorry, hang on one second. Sorry. Then I'm going to go into the width and the height that's here for the business card, and I'm going to say width. Since I said I'm going to do horizontal or landscape, I'm going to say 3.5 for my width, and then for my height, I'm going to choose 2. But notice what happened. The same thing that happened in class where my artboard is going over into my logo. Now mine is locked down, however, it might not always be. So the way to prevent this, I'm going to undo twice. Hang on, let me make sure. Undo twice. There we go. I'm going to undo. I'm going to make sure I'm still in my artboard. So that was a Shift O. And what I'm going to do is the registration is up here, right? This is the reference point or registration. I need to lock down this left side. So I want to lock down the top because I want it to start here where I put it. And I want to lock down the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in the registration in the upper left corner. And what that does is lock it down. So that means no matter what size I make this, that upper left side is going to stay locked down. So it'll be locked down on the top and it'll be locked down on the left. That's what I want to happen. With that lockdown, this is why this is super important, the reference point. With the lockdown, I'm going to go back over to width, and I'm going to say 3.5. And then in height, I'm going to say 2. And then, look, it's locked down. I didn't have to worry about it moving. I am happy. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. Okay, so for name, I'm going to say business card. Front. Okay. I'm going to copy that name. The only reason I'm copying it is because I know that I got to do it again for the business card back. So business card front. Now that I have business card front, I'm going to go to my layers panel and I'm going to create a new layer. And because this time I'm smarter, right, so that I don't have to work backward, I'm going to title this one business card front. Oh, yeah, no, I copied it, so I can just paste it in. Duh. Why y'all let me do that? All right, so business card front. I have that set. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my symbols panel and look at that. I have everything that I need to start creating this card. So I'm going to, from the symbols panel, I'm going to go ahead and drag that out. So remember the symbols panel is so awesome because it pretty much just has everything that we've created, that we've made a symbol. It makes it easy for us to just drag and drop. Oops, hang on. It makes it easier for us to just drag and drop it. Now I'm in the artboard tool. So before I do that, let me make sure I do this correctly. I'm going to switch tools back to the selection tool so that now when I drag stuff out, I'm not worried about making another artboard. So I'm going to grab iCase. Now again, remember I like to work on the cusp, so I don't know if I'm going to use all this stuff or not. I'm just playing. So right now I'm just playing the game of, hey, let's play with the layout. So I'm going to bring this over. And usually I use the rulers and things like that. I always encourage you to use it. I'm just going to eyeball it for now. But all right, so let's say I say, oh, I want iCase to be right there. Or I might want iCase to be kind of in the background. Or I might want iCase to be like this and it to continue on the next page. I don't know. You know what I'm doing? I'm playing. Right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm playing. So I might want something like this, and then I might want to clip it in, So let's see. So right there, that's, no, I might want a clipping path. So what I'm doing right now is just playing. Or, remember, another opportunity to teach you guys the right way. So I have iCase here. I have it exactly where I want it, right? You guys see that? I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to hit either Edit, Cut, or the shortcut, which is Command X. I'm just cutting it, right? Then I'm going to create a square, okay? Doesn't matter what color that square is, okay? Now I'm going to use these tools that we know about, the Draw Inside. Remember that? So I'm going to choose the Draw Inside tool, and then I'm going to hit Edit, and I'm going to hit Paste in Place, and it pasted inside of that Draw Inside tool. And I'm going to be happy with that, right? So maybe I want the business card to have like this kind of shade of color. Maybe I don't, but I don't know. Who knows? Now I'm going to go back to Draw Regular. Make sure I click on that. And I'm not quite sure if I'm going to like this bit of color or not, but we're going to see. Let's see if I change the opacity. I don't know yet. I'm going to go with it, though, and just see. I'm right now not a fan of this color. Not at all. So I might change the color. I might change it back to white. I might make it no gradient whatsoever. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that for now. But we'll see. We'll see. I always like to play and then, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I might grab this and I'm going to hit, I'm going to go back to drawing side. Yeah, I'm going to go back to drawing side. And I just had this idea. So I'm going to grab the symbol again. I'm going to grab another instance of iCase. And, oops. My boys are so loud. I love them though. Oh, I have draw behind. That's why. Okay, undo. Undo. All right. I'm going to grab this again. And I'm going to choose draw inside. And I'm going to go to my layers panel. I'm going to drill down in here. I'm going to look at the clip group. And I'm going to do edit, paste again. Okay, and I'm going to move this. And I'm actually going to grab that paste and put it inside of here. And so that I can move it. I'm going to tell you guys, I just play. I never know what I'm going to do. I don't even know what I'm up to half the time. But you know, I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to select both of these. Now, it is harder to select it when they're both inside. So unless you get the group selection tool, which you talked about. What I'm trying to do now is just make sure that they are aligned to each other. So I'm going to make sure that was kind of, hold on. I'm going to make this the key element. And now make sure that they are aligned to each other. And they are. Okay. So I might do something like this. Who knows? Where I have like the eye case coming off of one side of the screen and coming off the other one. I told you guys, I pretty much just play. I play. And a lot of times what I play with doesn't work. So please do not be discouraged. But sometimes it works. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this worked really, really well. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, and why were you thinking of that? What is wrong with you? You know, things like that. So I go through the same exact thing. Same things you guys go through. All right, so what I'm going to do is go back to my symbols panel, and I'm going to play. I just like to make sure I have enough stuff to play with. Like I have this bar, and I have this little symbol right here. So I might put this here. Oh, I'm still in draw behind mode. Hang on, let me go back to my regular mode. Okay. So I never know. I never know. You guys are shocked when I'm doing stuff. I'm shocked when I'm doing stuff. All right. So I'm going to go to my type tool and I'm going to type my name because that's on my business card. Okay, and I'm going to type. Remember I told you guys I like to always have a reference that I'm looking at. Even if I do business cards every day, and I do a lot of business cards and a lot of logos, I always like to have a reference up. So make sure you Google business cards. And then images. So Google business cards just to make sure you got all of your information that you need in there. Because again, it's easy to forget stuff and not even realize you forgot it until it's too late. All right, so I'm going to go with my name. Let's see if this is the font that I want. European. Yep, I'm sticking with that one. I might go with bold for it. So let's see if I can find a bold version. Matter of fact, let me do it up here so you guys can see. Okay. So you can see which ones I'm working with. EUROP. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and search EUROP. Let me search for the bold version. There it is. It's the most important information. So definitely got to make sure that my name is large, because probably, like I said, one of the most important parts, if we all work for the same company, the most important part of our card is going to be our name. I like to do small caps with my name because that's just something I like to do. Not something you have to do. You might be like, oh, I can't stand that she uses small caps, and that is okay. Please use whatever you want. My preference and your preference should be different. If not, then why not just hire the same designer to do everything, right? So I'm going to, of course, track that out some. All right. I like to use that space to make my name large. I do. I like my name to be, like I said, probably the most important part. I'm not a fan of this font now. That's okay. I'm going to go with it. All right. So I'm really not a fan of this font. All right. So I'm going to go with it, though. But so this is my name and my title of my company. Let me get the type tool again. Let's say I am a creative director. Okay. I'm not going to make that one small caps, and I'm not going to make that one. I'm just going to go with normal type for that one. Definitely not bold for that one, so maybe light, and probably not 16, maybe 14. So this is who I am. This is my title. I am creative director. And then I'm going to, you don't have to have, I'm trying to think if the instructions say that you have to have an address. But if so, I'm going to say that if you don't have an address that you have them coming to, nowadays people really, they get in touch with you through email and phone number. I just need the email and phone number have to be on there. But if you don't want to put an address on there, you don't have to. So, but your email and phone number, non-negotiable. They have to have a way to contact you. So I'm going to put, and a web address. So I'm going to, actually, if you have an email address, you don't have to have a web address. All right, so I'm going to say A, B, TSON at icase.com. Okay, so there's my address that they can get in touch with me. I definitely want that significantly smaller. And then I want a phone number. So all I'm doing is holding Alt, and then I'm gonna put 301 675 4158. So however you want to put your phone number in there, go for it. It's up to you. And maybe I put these two like this, and maybe I align these two, but I want to make sure that they align to their selection. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to align these two to the left just to make sure that they line up with each other. So now I might put my phone number and email address here. I might have my little separator here, right? Got my color bar, right? I might say I want to repeat that here, and then maybe I want to repeat that here. Okay, so maybe I want something like that. Maybe I want this to start over here, kind of like I had that one starting over there, right? And then maybe I want this one to be here, and maybe I wanted this one to be here. I don't know. I'm going to select all three though. I'm going to make, and then I'm going to go to align, and I'm going to distribute them kind of like this. But then I'm going to cut them. I'm going to Command X, cut them out of here. Right? And now what I want to do is do my drawn side. So I'm going to select on that square that I had earlier. And I'm going to, now here's the deal. Because I have them in the layers panel, they are, because I have them in layers, it's kind of hard to select the drawn side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the layers panel and I'm going to just locate where this clip group is. I'm going to go ahead and go to edit and I'm going to paste them back in the place that they were in. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to locate where they are inside of my, okay, so I located them here. I'm going to group them. So I'm going to hit Command G. This makes it easier. And then I'm going to name it, right? So I'm going to say bars, right? So with them labeled, what I'm going to do is grab this. You see how I have it here? And I'm going to put this, sorry, let me make sure. So I'm going to grab this, the bars, and I'm going to put bars inside of this clip group, okay? This way they're clipped inside of here. And so now you'll see if I bring this out, now that they're clipped right inside where the other one was, okay? So now if I want to select it, somebody asked about that group selection tool earlier in class, I can actually click twice. 1, 2, and now I can still manipulate where I want this to go. If I want it to be like that, booyah, I like that, okay? So now I have my email address and phone number that are just sitting out here. I can decide how I want to place them, like if I want to place them here. I see lots of possibilities with that and how I want to set it up. I'm not quite sure yet. Right now, I'm just playing around, right? So I also have, in my symbols group, I have the slogan that I can play with. And if I wanted to play with it, I would probably try to see if I could fit it anywhere here, like maybe down here in between here, but it would definitely be significantly smaller. If that was the case, let's say I made it like this, and it'd be like, if you can imagine it, you know, not quite sure, but I am going to go to the line panel. I am indeed, and I am going to align it to artboard, and now I'm going to say, hey, I want this centered to the artboard. And it looks like I did a pretty good job at centering it to the artboard. Okay, so now I'm still dealing with how I want to represent this, because here's what I have for the back. I still have where I can put the case on the back, and I put iCase on the back if I want, but I have iCase here, so I don't have to, but I can. I also have the slogan, but I also have the slogan here, so I don't have to, but I have this little symbol that I was trying to see if I wanted to put it in here. So let me look at my symbols real quick, because I also don't want overkill, so let me go ahead and move this. And let's say I put, let's say I can figure this out. Let me just play with it a little bit. Like I said, there's nothing set in stone. I just encourage play. You know, I might say, oh, I kind of like how that's there. I might say, girl, that's overkill. Don't you do it. You know, just anything. Who knows? Who knows? What goes on in my head? I just don't know. So let me see. I might say, I like that, and I might like that, or I might like it down here, but I feel like that area is a little bit too congested, so I might do it here, or I might be like, well, you know, why not just go big, right, and change the transparency of that to like maybe, you know, I don't go any higher than like 8 to 10%, and maybe just have that across your whole board, like at the bottom. So let me see, because I might, I mean, I know me, I do some very interesting things. So I might try this. And like I said, I love working off the cusp because I honestly, I promise you guys, I don't practice before I record. I try to record it raw. All sorts of wrong things happen all the time. But I like that it is 100% me and you guys aren't getting some um you know, it's 100% mistakes, and that's what happens. And I want you guys to see that these mistakes happen all the time. You know, it's not like um, I'm just like, oh, you know, nope. These mistakes happen all the time. It's just what happens. We change that back to 10%. I think I had it at 8%. Definitely 8%. Then I tell you guys, when you're doing with opacity and stuff like that, please don't go above 8% because what happens is, I mean, especially if it's supposed to be a background element, it looks dark on the screen, but I guarantee you it's going to print dark and you're going to be upset. You're going to be like, oh, this is messing up my design, because it will. It really will. So I kind of like that. I'm liking how that's interacting with the background. It's not overshadowing it at all. It's just pretty much, and I was able to play with just different areas. So I might play with swatches just a little bit more, and I might not. I might be like, not really feeling that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So, you know, I'm just not afraid to play. That's all I say. I used to be, though. I used to be a big old chicken. I was. I was like, I'm not messing up my design. And I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? What if? Yeah. And the email address is something pretty important for them to see. So I might stay black with that, but who knows? All right, so I'm going to zoom. All right, that's a whole lot of orange. But you know what? I stuck with it. I'm going with it. So there is our business card, right? There's the front. We were able to use a lot of the elements that we created, right? So now, and it's kind of cool. So now we want to make another business card. Let's go ahead and make so that was the business card front. Let's go ahead and make the back real quick. We're going to get our artboard tool again. Again, the shortcut key is Shift O, and we just pretty much try to line it up as much as possible. Just start drawing something out. Go up here. We want to make sure that that left and that top are locked down. And with this one, we're going to go with 3 inches by 2.5. We hit return. I'm so sorry. We're going to go with 3 inches by 2. All right. So 3.5 inches by 2. See? And so wrong. 2 by 3.5. There we go. I got it together. I know what you're saying. Get it together, girl. I know. I feel you. So I'm going to type business card back, okay, for this one. And I'm going to go to the layers panel, which I forgot to do. And I'm going to go here. This is a new layer. Remember that? So I'm going to type business card back. All right, so I'm going to lock this layer down, and with business card back, go ahead and start designing. All right, so we have this. We have our new layer set up. We're going to go into our symbols panel. And like I told you, it's easy from here because all we're doing is just dropping stuff in, putting it in place. All right, so with that selected, we can go to our align panel. We can align to artboard as we have set, and then we can just make sure it's centered as well. All right, so now I can just position this where we want it. We can cant it if we want. Right now, I'm not a fan of it straight on, so I might want to cant it. Might want to bring it up like this. No, you just never know. Never know what and how I want it. I just do. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to set up what other symbol do I want to bring out here. Maybe I do want to bring out iCase. No. 1 second. All right, so maybe I do want to set up IK, sorry. And let me go ahead. Apologize for that. I had gotten a phone message from my child, so I want to make sure I respond to that. All right, so and the next thing that we're going to do for this one is I just might bring out the actual version of this. I don't know where I want to put it though. Maybe I'll put it here. No. Not sure where I want that yet. Let me see. Okay. But again, this is that whole layout and design process right here. Trying to figure out where stuff should go because you don't want stuff to be too heavy. You don't want stuff to be too light. That's not gonna work. Don't like that. I don't know. I would probably be spending a lot of time playing, but since we're in a video and web space is limited, I'm just gonna choose something. This I'll probably repeat, and I'll probably have the opacity again, 8%, possibly 5%, going down, just something to accent the page. I'll probably have it go off the page maybe, you know, maybe here, so we can see it. I might clip it in as well, and then have it go layers, bring this one accent logo down underneath the case. And then, let me see. Yeah, I'm just all about play. I might actually duplicate this a couple of times so that we see it, you know, more. Oops. I might not do that, what just happened. And then I might duplicate and go up a little bit. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's see. I might also, you just never know. I might reverse it. I might reverse it. And have that one come in this way. That one come in this way. Just give more, a better interaction. And then maybe have this one, oops, come in. Oh, goodness. This one coming down here. Increase that interaction. Yeah. I think that's what I'll have. I'm going to select all three. I'm going to cut them out. Actually, you know what? So we did the one way. So now we'll do the other way. So I'm going to select, I'm going to grab the rectangle tool, and we're just going to clip those into place. So I'm going to grab here. Okay, so I have this square. I'm going to grab, hold shift, grab all of these, all of our accents, and I'm going to go to object. I'm going to go to clipping mask, and I'm going to make. And now we have clipped those dots into place. We clipped them. Yeah. I don't know if I like the interaction though anymore, because now it's weird. Let me go back to the clip group, which we're going to name. Let me click on this accent logo. And I think I want, I don't know. I just don't like, even though it's super light, I can still see that I don't like that interaction. All right, so I'm gonna move that. I'm a little picky. All right, so then I'm gonna go to this accent logo. I'm gonna move that. I just like them in their natural. That's what they were built for. I'm gonna move this one here. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I like that interaction a lot better. All right, so I have right now. Oh, as a matter of fact, I think I want. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do with that bar. I'm gonna click here, grab the bar, bring it out, and I'm going to. This is gonna be in that clip too. Stretch it out a little bit. That's okay. Now I'm gonna go into my layers panel. And I'm going to move this bar inside of the clip group. I think I want it on top of the accent logos. Yeah. So I moved it inside the clip group. And actually, I want to check this clip a little bit because I feel like it's not at the edge. Yeah. It's like not at the edge, the very edge. There we go. Much better. Okay. And now I'm going to copy that bar logo. I'm going to move this one. Oops. I just copied it and moved it to the bottom. I'm holding shift as I do that. And I don't want them to be exact size. I got this one a little larger than that one. And now I'm going to move our case down a little bit. Move this case up a little bit. And now guess what I have, guys? I have a bleed. So I will have to go back in and adjust that for printer. Let me make sure that these are only 7 because I really, so my bubbles, my accents that are behind, I only want them to be, let me make them 5. The transparency of them. I don't want them taking over anything. So I'm just changing the percentage to 5%. When they print, I want them to print super light. So I'm going to save this. All right. So guys, we have our front, our back finish of our business card. So we have the back of our business card finished. We have the front of our business card finished. We also have a bleed, so we'll have to fix that in the end and not forget. And then we have our logo. All right. So these parts are set. The next one video will be about creating, say, the stationery package. So we're just going to build on from there. All right. But for now, we are good.